Good morning, everyone. I am Sarishek. Today I am going to explain you some concept of the blockchain with the help of this PPT. So let's start with the table of contents. So in table of content, the first is introduction, then features, types of blockchain, application, and the references. The first is introduction. Basically, the blockchain technology was introduced by Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008. The first practical example or real life example of the blockchain technology is a Bitcoin. Bitcoin is basically cryptocurrency that was introduced by Satoshi Nakamoto. The blockchain technology is basically a structure that stores transactional records in the blocks, and these blocks are connected through the peer-to-peer nodes. This is called blockchain. So the first blocks of the blockchain is called Genesis block. We store the data in the block in the form of digital ledger. We call this like data ledger. The data that stored in the block, uh, it converted into this data is encrypted into the hash. Then the hash of the first block is stored in the second block. They are connected by the hash. Then the second slide is about the features of the blockchain. The first feature is immutability. Immutability means no one can change the data in the block. If we can change the data in the block by doing some anonymous activity, then the hash of the data, it should be changed. Then the second features is consensus. The consensus means we can providing the proof that this work is done by us. This called the consensus. The consensus algorithms are the proof of work, proof of stake, proof of burn. Then third features is highly secure. Blockchain network is a highly secure. No one can change, no one can temper the blockchain network. If you have to temper the blockchain network, then you have to take charge of the 51% of the network. Then decentralized system. Decentralized system means no single authority can take the charge over the network or can change the some part of the network. The decentralized system means all the nodes have an equal right to contribute in the network. Then automation capability. Automation capability means whenever our programs triggers, it do the transaction and the other activities like sending the cryptocurrencies, receiving the cryptocurrencies. Then then the last feature is our faster settlement. If you are going to the bank for doing the transaction, then it takes the 2 to 3 days for sending the money from one country to another country, or it also take the higher charges for sending the money. But by using the blockchain technology, we can send the money in 2 to 3 seconds, and it's also take the lower minimum fees or lower charges for the transactions. So next slide is about the type of blockchain. The first type of blockchain network is a private blockchain network is a permission blockchain network. If you have to join the blockchain private blockchain network, then we then the we have we are invited by the network administrator. We cannot join without the invite, or the participant and the validators are restricted for the access of the data. Private blockchain networks are operate on the closed networks, and these private blockchain networks are used by the businesses and the organization to keep their confidential data safe. Then second type of a blockchain network is a public blockchain network. Public blockchain has a no access restriction. Anyone with the internet connection can send the transaction, as well as become the validator, or as well as he can join the network. The most famous public blockchain networks examples are Bitcoin blockchain and the Ethereum blockchain. So next slide is about the application of the blockchain technology. The first application is the games. In recent year, you see the most famous NFTs, then the blockchain games like the CryptoKitties, and the NFTs like the CryptoPunks, and the games like the Sandbox are most recently are uh, are welcoming by the developers, and they are most popular games in the blockchain based networks. Second application is the cryptocurrency. So basically cryptocurrency are cryptocurrencies like the Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polygon, meme coin like Shiba Inu. are the most famous example of the blockchain based technologies cryptocurrency. The supply chain management. In supply chain management, we use the blockchain technology for the detecting the fraudulent activity and authentication of the product. The next application is the domain names. We use the blockchain based domain names like the ether.crypto, then algorand.wallet, this .wallet.crypto. These are the domain names based on the blockchain technology. Then another is application is in healthcare industry. In healthcare industry, we store the patient data in the blocks, and we take this data for the research purpose, and we make the chain of this patient's life history, then their diseases and the other for the research purposes. And financial services. In financial services, we use the blockchain technology for doing the transaction faster and for the minimum charges, and we are removing the middleman or intermediately like banks. Here we bring us to end of our presentation. Here are the references that I used to make this PPT: wikipedia.org and simplilearn.com. Thank you so much.